Welcome back, Hershko Development. Today I want to talk about signing a contract with multiple vendors, subcontractors, or a general contractor, right? When you start your remodeling project or new construction project, the first step is really to have the land, right? So you might have an existing land, you might want to tear down your property and build a new property. And, we've been working with owners and clients for many years, from inception to completion. Sometimes we help the clients to find the perfect lot, to find the perfect land and build their custom home. Sometimes it's a major renovation, sometimes it's basic renovation, right? But essentially, when you want to start your project, in the beginning, you have to work on the design, right? On the floor plan. Now, some people hire an architect for the initial planning, right? And interior designer. Now, sometimes the architect provide interior designing services and sometimes not. So some architects will only design the actual building, right? The architectural kind of component of the design. And some architects will do both, or sometimes the architects might have an in-house interior designer, right? Essentially, interior design, it's really the heart of the project. It's everything that goes inside the actual layout and floor plan and fixtures and finishes and all those details that's kind of more like inside the home, where in new construction, architecture might be more of the details that's relevant to the exterior of the building. You need to have both. A lot of people, they work with an architect and they don't realize they don't really have an interior design. So they may have architectural plan, but they are missing interior design. Some architects are very, very detail oriented and do excellent work, and we are working with some of the best in the world. So I can tell you that some of them are amazing, and some of them, as amazing they are, they may not provide all the services that you actually need as an owner when you approach your design and build project, right? Whether it's new construction, custom home, or a complete renovations, or sometimes even a small renovation, right? So again, in the beginning, you want to make sure that all those services are applicable and you have those services and you're not missing some part of the puzzle, because sometimes we have clients that come to us and they think they're ready to start construction. They may even have the permit. They want to get a price. They want to get a proposal. They have a complete plans with permits, but they didn't select the shopping, right? They didn't select the tiles, the flooring, the cabinets, etc. So that's part of your interior design, right? Now, when I'm working only, I say only as the GC, is when the client might come to us from a referral from friends, family, or best clients that have great experience and they recommend us to somebody else, right? So in those times when we have clients that come to us just for the build part, then if they have a well executed plans, which mostly they don't, mostly they are missing a lot of details, right? So when you come to us, if you already have a plan with permits, right, an essential design, a complete design plan or architectural plan, and you have permits for it, but you're missing some details, you want to make sure those details are being perfected before you actually get in the final price for the construction. Because if you start selecting materials and look at the stone, look at the flooring, look at the cabinets, those things will require additional adjustments sometimes. And sometimes when you work with a very experienced design team, you may find additional opportunities within the space that maybe the architect did not communicate originally. So again, you have to remember, when you work only with an architect or only with an interior designer or only with a structural engineer or only with a general contractor, your experience will vary, right? Now, if you have an integrated team, for example, our team in Hershko Development is integrated, right? So we have our own design studio, and when we start with our projects, we tend to design our projects from scratch, from the beginning, working with our clients and really perfecting the capabilities for the home. If it's a renovation, we want to perfect that floor plan, we want to perfect the layout on the wish list based on the needs of how our clients want to use the space, right? So it's very, very important for us that your needs going to be met. When we work on those plans, you work directly with myself and my design team. We usually assign one of my interior designers to be the lead designer for the project, and of course my team in the back end, working together as a team to make sure everything is perfect, right? But you always have that front end, right? You have the back end, you have the front end. So we have about 25 designers on our team, between our architects, our engineers, and our interior designers. And we also have a large scale construction teams which service different locations in different regions. Sometimes I will collaborate with an additional design team from a different location. Sometimes, our clients, they seek in designs which are more sophisticated or more challenging or more complex. And, with my relationships and collaborations over the years, we have some great architects and designers that are not are in-house but love to collaborate with us on exciting projects. And we tend to find that if you have good relationship and good chemistry with some design team, that can definitely benefit our clients and the projects, right? So we want to make sure that somebody really understands the direction of the project and you're going to have an happy ending, right? So nothing is missing on the plans where you're kind of in a stage where like you have the permits, but you cannot start construction because a lot of details are missing. So some people get an estimate, right, from an architect or designer, and they don't realize like, hey, I just got a proposal for one feature or one element or, few details, but it's not a complete vision. It's not a complete picture. It's not going to get me to where I want to go, right? So you need somebody that really manage the individuals, sort of speaking, right? It's not just about creating beautiful design. You want to make sure those design will be applicable and designed for code, not just for wish list. I see a lot of time clients that come to us like they have a beautiful design and they cannot get permits, right? I always talk about like if you cannot get the permit for it, you cannot build it, right? So that's a failure. So there is several details that must be considered during the design phase: interior design, architectural design, structural engineering, and you must be able to provide the building department with the right details in order to obtain those permits. If certain details are missing, you're going to have challenge of getting some of the permits. And we have situation where clients come to us and they have the permit stuck and they can't get the permits, and we have to step in. If we can take their job and help them out, then we will, and we work with the building department. We understand exactly what they need and we adjust the design and pulling the plans with permits, and we're ready to go, right?